Hello everyone and welcome to the inaugural episode of the Likt podcast. I'm your host, iluvwheat, and with me today is my co-host, Cormac Moss. Say hi.
Please don't do that English voice ever again. Ever again.
So, to start, this podcast is going to be like stuff on comics and cartoons and maybe games every now and then, and just stuff
games
we
all
enjoy
the
talking
time.
about. We might even talk about, the Middle East and our opinions on politics. We're not going to, but we could.
Go Trump.
Go Trump. Fuck you, Hillary. But anyway, so, yeah. So we're going to do news. If you want to start us off with whatever news you have.
Okay, I don't have a lot because I wasn't prepared for this in any way.
Yeah, this is very...
So, there's an Invader Zim movie being made.
I've nothing to say about Invader Zim.
I don't either. I've never watched the show. But if
good art style?
Of our audience has, you know what?
I like the art style. It's pretty good. It actually is very interesting. I do like... And the concept of it seems pretty good.
I don't even know the art style. I know nothing other than there's a movie of it.
I've read one of the comics and it's completely different.
Wow.
It's weird.
Wow.
Okay, you know what?
Wow. Wow. So there's a Tangled TV series being made, and I like Tangled. That's a good movie. That's a good movie.
It's better than that Frozen movie that came out that just destroyed everyone and made the world. It was just everywhere.
There's also a Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs TV series.
That's gonna be shit.
I disagree.
Even
though I know nothing about it. I like that movie.
I'll fight you.
Bring it.
I'm a horse.
I'm way more ripped than you.
I'm a horse.
There's Adventure Time has ended now apparently, and I liked that show.
Let's talk about that for a second because I'm pissed off very much.
Yeah.
Because so with spoilers for Adventure Time, the ending. So the last episode, if this is the last episode.
I haven't seen the last episode.
Okay, how dare you? Well, you know what? The last episode ends with a very sad kind of moment where he's come to terms with who he is as a being and all that stuff. And that's cool. And it really seemed like there was more stuff to come and they were going to try and resolve the rest of the plot points. But then they never did. Nothing to do with any of the relationships he had. His arm, whatever that grass guy, never anything to do with that. Fern. Never solved anything with Fern. Did anything
Wait, so
with
if they
Fern.
just finished the series? I thought they were like coming to the end, like they were doing one more season.
Well, because the thing is, they said season 8 is going to be the last season, and now they've said that this is the end of the season. So I question a lot what is going to happen now, because if this is the end of the season and this is the last season, if that's everything, then it's dumb and I hate it.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying.
Although they did say that they will do a movie at some point, so and they said they will try and do. Or they said if they ever do a movie, it'll be a year after the show ended, so maybe next year there'll be a movie, Adventure Time movie. So that could be good. But anyway, continue with your news.
Other than that, they're making a Big Hero 6 TV show, which is cool. It's also made by the same people who made Kim Possible, which is cool because I liked Kim Possible. I liked Big Hero 6. Yeah. Let's hope they do it properly.
Let's hope they don't fuck it up.
Also, then Injustice 2, that looks fun.
That is
looks
a game.
Really fun. It's not on PC, which annoys me. It should be. It should be.
It's also got it looks very weird. A lot of the character models and designs are weird. Their faces are like potatoes. I don't understand.
They look super realistic.
They're creepy. It's really weird.
Although they've also introduced that they're going to be doing reverse flash on it, which would be cool.
They also look all like middle-aged dads and middle-aged moms because their faces are very squashed.
Yes, Superman looks so weird. His hair isn't black. It's blonde.
He also wears a bunch of gold shit on it, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yes, for one of his skins.
Yeah.
For the main one. But I think it could be fun. It's got 40 playable characters from what I've heard. Not all of them have been revealed yet, but it should be good.
Anything else?
No.
What about that Young Justice?
Oh, yeah, Young Justice. It's just such a good show. It's such a good show.
You're welcome. I showed him in Young Justice, which if you guys don't know, think the Justice League, the old Justice League cartoons,
but young.
But they're all young, and they're like, so it brings in all the different characters that people might know or might not know. So you got obviously your original Robin, then you got Superboy, Miss Martian, Kid Flash,
Aqualad,
who used to be white.
But now he's black, but I don't care because he looks amazing.
He looks
he's my
really,
favorite
yeah,
character.
he's super cool. But yeah, no, the show's very good and it's super interesting and it's just a very kind of it's got kiddie moments where just some of the punchlines are really weird. But then it's got just great like at season 2 I just got very confused because they brought in aliens and I'm like, what is going on? And
I really liked season 2.
Who's crossing who and who's a cross-dresser even? I don't know. It was very...
Although, just in case you didn't know, the reason we brought this up is because the series ended, like, what, a few years ago? Yeah, 2013, yeah, so 4 years ago. And they're bringing it back for season 3. It's been officially announced it's going to be great. Everyone should watch it.
There was huge talk about it, like, if they ever do it, bring it back on Netflix and all that, and I think that's where it's going to be. So, be awesome.
It would be.
I'm actually really hyped for that.
They have the same voice actor who plays Aqualad.
Yeah, Calder.
For season 3, which I really like.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I hope they bring in Starfire like they said they would.
I hope. Oh, I can't say that actually.
Yeah.
Be
careful.
You
anyway,
know what I hope.
Yeah, I know what you hope, and I hope that doesn't happen.
That's because you're a bitch.
Okay, so I guess it's my news now.
Yeah.
Did you see the Thor 3 trailer?
Oh, it looks so good.
It looks like a good movie.
It looks great.
Unlike all the other Thor movies where they're not great. They're fine, I guess.
They are okay. They are average movies.
It looks like it's going to be like a Winter Soldier type deal where like the rest of the movies were kind of and this one's going to be great.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's got good jokes. It's got great... It's a very interesting too. It's gonna be. It seems it's gonna be like a buddy movie, like a thing where it's just.
Yeah, they were saying it's a road trip.
Yeah, movie. Like a Hulk and a Thor just chilling out, doing their thing, having fun.
I just love that scene in it where it's like they're saying, "Oh, here comes the big contender," and Hulk bursts through, and Thor's just like, "Yes, he's a friend from work. We know each other." And then I just thought that was great.
And they fight anyway. Yeah.
The Hulk's like, you know what, you're going down. Yeah. How dare you?
Yeah, because that really does bring in the whole thing from Planet Hulk, and that was a very interesting animated movie and comic series, and I really did like that.
The animated movie.
Huh?
Yeah, I did like the animated movie. From what I've seen, the comic series is better because it just goes into the aftermath of that and all that stuff, and how Hulk gets married.
Yeah, he has a kid too.
Yeah, and then they're killed.
And then they're murdered, and he gets so pissed.
Yeah,
because he thinks it's from them. I think he thinks it's from the Earth, doesn't he, or something like that?
Yeah, he thinks it's from the Avengers, but it was one of his guys who was like, you're going soft, so I made you do this to go kill everyone on Earth.
And then he had a fight with Sentry. He had a fight with Sentry, and that went bad. But anyway, Thor 3 looks good. I'm excited for it. I actually will see it.
That's good.
Okay, so now they've announced that in 2019 it's going to be a big Batman year. In essence, that they said there's going to be possibly 6 Batman movies coming out that year. Obviously,
that's a lot.
That'll probably be 5 of them will be animated, or at least 4 of them will be animated, and maybe the other 2 will be live action. I would say.
Yeah, like Bad Blood this year, whatever it was called.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, like the Justice League versus Teen Titans, and that animated series has gone pretty well. Like the universe they built is pretty good. All the characters are quite fleshed out, except for Batman, because Batman's gotten his own animated movies. Then there's just been the Justice League movies where he's with everyone else, and they're in a group setting, and it is interesting. And then they moved into the Teen Titans, and it's just
the whole Justice League versus Teen Titans. They're continuing that on into another movie.
Yeah, the Judas Contract already came out.
Yeah,
that one came out.
Is it any good?
I did watch a scene where Starfire just beats the shit out of Nightwing.
Oh wow!
And I didn't think that would happen at all, but then she did, and also She makes the joke like, you lasted longer this time, and then everyone laughs, and she's like, oh no, he's very proficient when we have sex, and then I'm like, yeah, that's not no. Anyway,
and why do they fight? What is the Judas Contract about?
Oh, he's just trying to, like, she's showing like how to be trained well or better or whatever, something like that.
Oh yeah, because Damian Wayne is there, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna kill everyone, and they're like, yeah, but don't, and he's like, oh okay, I won't.
Yeah. Red Arrow's in it briefly, like in a flashback moment, so is Kid Flash.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Cool. Like they're in a kind of a flashback moment, and that's when they meet what's her face, Starfire. Yeah. And she makes out with Robin to learn English or something like that. And then the other two are like, I know Spanish if you really want to.
Yeah, I know Spanish.
Yeah.
I know Mexican.
I took high school French, but anyway, it's weird. But yeah, as for the 6 movies now, that might mean that whatever movie they're making, the Batman one, which I hope is Red Hood, is going to be out 2019. also followed by other animated movies. That is a lot of movies. 6 movies that year. Like, that's weird.
That is a lot.
But I mean, hey, if they're good, who cares? So,
Yeah.
Also, Carrie Fisher is apparently going to appear in Star Wars 9. She did the filming for 8, and apparently they're still going to have her in 9. So that's kind of a spoiler because we know she doesn't die. Yeah, we know she doesn't die in 8, but we know she's died in real life. So,
so she'll die sometime, like probably early on in 9.
Yeah, so now we don't really know what's going to happen with that. It's probably that weird technology where they put your face on it even though you're dead.
Yeah.
And it's weird. And I don't
CGI on face like they did with
Paul
Walker.
Tarkin. Oh yeah, and also Tarkin in the Star Wars and young Leia.
Yeah, they've done a lot of it.
Young Leia was so creepy. I didn't hate Tarkin so much, but people apparently were furious, and I didn't
Yeah,
mind.
but you could see he was fake. You could see he was CGI'd.
Yeah, but then again, why didn't... I don't know, you could have gotten someone else. You could have just gone a random general, but then again, I guess to make it make sense, it had to be him. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
However, something movie related that is weird. Jared Leto was nominated for an MTV Movie Award for the best villain because of Suicide Squad.
That could have been such a good movie.
Suicide Squad should have been such a good movie. But let's not focus on that. Let's focus on how shit it was and the fact that he's getting a movie award for being shit, you know? Because Suicide Squad won an Oscar for best makeup. Now, it was fine. There was definitely movies with better makeup and costume design. However...
Yeah, for instance, Fantastic Beasts.
Yes, that was pretty good. And...
It was great.
Like, yeah, it was great. Well, it did make you feel like you were in a weird 50s America, but like, and a wizard 50s America. But like,
that's what it's supposed to do, which makes it great.
Yeah, but like, so that won an Oscar, so it's not really a huge surprise. But and it is an MTV Movie Award, so it doesn't really mean anything. Like it's MTV, because the Oscars makes you kind of validated. This kind of movie award is just like, a Nickelodeon show could get it. Like if it really did it well. But yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. It's weird. His performance wasn't great, but then again, he wasn't given anything to do. He's not a bad actor. It's just a shit movie.
Yeah, he's a good method actor, from what I've heard.
Well, he did send them all dead rats.
Exactly. He sent what's her name?
The blonde Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie. Sent her like a used condom, from what I've heard also.
And a love letter with written in blood and a live rat or a dead rat, maybe. I don't know.
Pretty gross.
His assistant had to bring it over.
Yeah, they had to, apparently, they had a psychiatrist in.
Oh?
For the whole team, Margot Robbie and all that.
That is something. Alright. So The Rock said that he's excited for the Shazam movie, but also he's very excited because the Black Adam is getting his own solo movie. Which is...
That is cool. And I like The Rock a lot. I think he's a good actor.
Now, they did have a lot of good like every actor in Suicide Squad was great. It's just the fact that the movie was shit. So they could definitely fuck it over. However, I think he's a very good, because he's probably a very good person to riff off of if he's a villain, and he does become an anti-hero in the comics kind of thing. And so that's probably what that movie's going to be about. I would assume. But yeah, I wonder how I do wonder how they're going to go from he's a villain of this kid who's a man, and then he's to be an anti-hero. Maybe he has a change of heart, or Shazam really just has a nice chat with him over a latte or something.
Well, don't forget, they're also doing a Venom movie, so they could just be doing that version for DC, where he's not going to be a good guy in it, he's just fighting someone who is worse.
Yeah, something like that. Although Venom, they could do an Agent Venom thing, where he's it's in a war zone. They could do a lot of things with that Venom kind of movie, although I assume they wouldn't do anything good with Venom, ever.
Well, we can hope.
Yeah. Although, in case you don't know what we're talking about, also Shazam is about it's about a kid, a 10-year-old kid who's given the powers, this godlike power, where when he says the word Shazam, he turns into a giant man who can rival Superman because he's magic and has all these abilities like the wisdom of Solomon and the speed of Mercury and the whatever, all these and the courage of Zeus.
He's also known as Captain Marvel because he
was in Marvel, and then he got ripped because DC sued them because they were like, hey, you stole our character. You clearly stole our character. And they admitted that they did, but whatever happened. He's a cool character, but he's weird now, but he's cool. He's very childlike. He could be a very Captain America type person, since they didn't decide to do that with, Superman, who's supposed to be all nice and friendly.
Yeah, he's very childish in Young Justice.
Well, he's very quite. Oh God, he's quite a child. But yeah, anyway. Moving on, The Flash TV show is still going. I felt the need to bring that up because
I've never watched this, so go ahead.
Okay, I'll bring it up in a bit because it's what spawned the topic, but I'll talk about it right now. So the new episodes are coming out. I think it was on a hiatus or whatever happens. The show is fine for what it is. It's one of those shows that's very episodic. Every week there's a disaster supervillain who decides to destroy the world and the Flash, and they do incorporate some good elements like the main villain overall of the series, being like someone he's a friend with, or someone he's spent a lot of time with, or just being someone he doesn't know. Or maybe him being his own villain because he fucks up the timeline because he can travel through time, and in a network television it's really weird. It's just weird, but it's still going. I don't know why. The actors are fine for TV. It's just still going, and I'm upset about it. But
what about the Green Arrow? Is that still going?
The Arrow is still going, and apparently that is not good anymore because it's not fresh, and it's still kind of trying to be gritty. When the whole point of Green Arrow is that he's like Hawkeye and very jokey and stuff. Well, Hawkeye.
Which one had the Shark King?
There was a Shark King. There happened to be King Shark or something. A King Shark like thing in the Flash, where there was a shark human, and he didn't look too bad for CG TV, but he was a shark
was
human.
Was he ripped? Because I think I've seen pictures of it, and he just looks ripped.
His skin is also like ripping apart as well. So that's something.
That's a different type of rip. That's like ripped diamond.
True. The final thing is on Fantastic Beasts. Jude Law is going to be the young Dumbledore.
Is he?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I think yes. I'm excited for that. Now I'm very sad that it wasn't The Rock as Dumbledore. I really wanted that.
I think The Rock would have been good as Dumbledore. Yeah.
I really also think that we could have gotten a good Robert Downey Jr. as the evil guy, Wizard Hitler. Whistler.
Was Hitler.
We could have had them kiss.
I like Johnny Depp though.
Could have had them make out.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't go with Johnny Depp for the next one because he it's fine. But then again, think about it this way: do you want another repeat of Pirates of the Caribbean where all the movies feel the same and are kind of forgettable?
I like the Pirates of the Caribbean.
But the thing
movie.
is, they are all the same movie.
I disagree. Have you seen also? They're making another Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
They should stop.
It looks good.
I hope it fails so they never do another one again. But
I hope it succeeds and they do 10 more.
But yeah, so that's interesting, and at least we're getting some news that this movie actually exists and they are casting for it.
I do like Jude Law, so I like Jude Law a lot. I really liked him in the Sherlock movies and the other stuff he was in, which I'm not going to name.
Yeah, but it's just good. But back to the Flash thing. It spawned the topic for this episode because we're going to have a one topic that spawns over the course of the episode. Superhero TV shows that have gone on throughout the ages, and we're going to try and make this brief because I've got 26 TV shows here, and they're quite some.
I have none.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. Okay.
I did so much work for this podcast.
You're going to do all the editing, but so here we go. Superman animated, the old Superman animated stuff back in 1950 something. Oh. Anyway,
1950 something.
Yeah, it was really old. That was the first, because if you think of Superman, you're always like, oh, the first thing he ever did was the TV shows, like the live action TV shows and the movies. But the first thing was the cartoons. They were like the first thing, and they had terrific animation, and the stories were often kind of just him stopping a building from falling over or flying down the gullet of a Godzilla creature. And basically spawning the first Godzilla creature also. And it was very cool, but like the animation and that kind of stuff, every single frame is a different animation, and it's just very unique and a very different show, and the colours were all like, it was just amazing. It was also a very intense show, and it also was the reason that Superman can now fly, because it was a lot of work on the animators to make him jump all about the place. So they were like, hey, can we just make him fly?
So Superman didn't originally fly then?
Yeah, so he didn't originally fly, he was just leap tall buildings in a single bound. And that whole
like Superboy.
Yeah, basically. Well, he could fly in the comics, but but like the whole thing with flying is so they made it do that, and now they've technically spawned the most iconic superpower in the history of the universe. Everyone flies, the whole thing. Like it's a symbol of
Flash doesn't fly.
Yeah, Flash doesn't fly. He can walk on air or whatever, but he can't fly.
Batman falls with style.
He does do that. He is Buzz Lightyear in his prime.
He's Buzz Lightyear.
Okay, have you ever watched any episodes of Batman 66?
Probably not.
The Adam West thing. Now that show, I think I watched a little bit of it at a point. Now that spawned the best thing I think that ever happened, which is the Scooby-Doo Batman crossover episode of Scooby-Doo. It was a movie where they get captured by Joker and Scooby has to save them. That's a really good.
And then Shaggy gets beat to death with a crowbar.
and then I think Velma is like, paralyzed and stripped naked. The whole thing. And
Fred is forced to go through this
a carnival looking at dead pictures of Velma. But no, but that was really weird. Because they were doing all kinds of crossover with Scooby Doo. They were doing Harlem Globetrotters and all that.
They did wrestling.
Oh, that was it. Yeah. But back to Batman '66. That show was very goofy. But you know what? I stand to this day that it still had a better Joker than Jared Leto's Joker, because he had a mission. His mission was to make people laugh, but also put their lives in danger, and he did it. He did it quite well.
And which Joker is this?
I don't know.
Is it the live action one?
Yeah, live action. This is that one's '66. This is the Adam West thing,
Nicholas something. I feel like his name was.
I don't know. But the best part about it is he had a rat stash, right? And instead of shaving it off to put the makeup on, they just painted over the rat stash.
Yes, I've seen that.
Oh god! And I think at a point they surfed to see who would become the mayor. And the best part about it was they didn't take their costumes off and or just keep them like Batman got his mask on, or he just put shorts over the outfit. It was really weird. They also had their own customized surfboards, like the Joker had one, and he's not rich. How did he afford that? But it was weird.
He probably just broke in. Someone says, I'll kill you if you don't give me a.
I'll kill you if you don't make me one. Yeah, probably. But that guy, I don't think he was very killy. He was more like, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Off-screen bombing.
He did kill people.
He did. Didn't he poison the water supply? I don't know. That show was weird.
I do believe this is a show we're talking about. I thought it was a movie.
I think there were movies spawned of it. So like there were movies that came out of it.
Yeah, because I know that one of the older Batman movies, like the one where his face was stuck in that really bad looking smile. It's the one that most people consider the best Joker, other than Heath Ledger.
Yeah. That other one you're talking about, that's a different one. We won't talk about that because that's the Batman '89, and that's the really good Joker, Jack Nicholson. He's really good.
Yes,
he was great. Yeah, but the TV show was so goofy and weird and silly. But then again, he always had the code. He didn't kill people, probably because it was a kids show, but he didn't kill people.
I have never seen this. I have probably seen a few episodes of a couple, and then I've seen Young Justice and Teen Titans.
Yeah. You're probably not going to know a lot of these. Okay, but we should move on. We spent a lot of time about this. Okay, yeah. Swamp Thing. Now, you don't know about Swamp Thing.
He's a Swamp Thing. Much.
Okay, so Alan Moore, I believe...
He's in Injustice 2, actually.
He's also in that movie Justice League Dark with all the magic.
He's a good guy, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he likes to save all life on Earth, plants and stuff. Alan Moore kind of either wrote him or brought him back from being a bad character. I really can't remember the specifics. The show was weird. He was just a big plant monster. He's a big plant monster who just kind of like wanted to save the Earth and beat up people. It was weird. They had to contrive a reason for him to be outside of the forest a lot of the time. Because why would anybody go to a swamp? Like, why would there be so much booming industry in a swamp? But like. Yeah, it was a weird show.
There could be a lot of evil layers built in swamps.
True. I'm pretty sure that happened in Fairly Odd Parents also. But to move on to a show that really spawned the DC live-action TV shows, Smallville.
Did it? Oh, was that the? Oh yeah, that was the. You were telling me about that with all those characters, and now it's like.
It went for 10 years. 10 years. And the whole thing with him not being able to fly, that whole show was based around him not being able to fly, because he discovered his superpowers, right? And that makes sense in a show about Superboy or Superman, whatever, Clark not being able to use all his powers and stuff, right? Yeah. And it made sense. So he was invincible. He had super strength and speed, right? And he just kept going up against these villains who had kryptonite powers because they would sit in a sauna with kryptonite rocks as well as coal because they didn't really know. And like they got these weird fire powers, or someone would just die in a car crash and land near some kryptonite, and they'd become a ghost and haunt people. It was very weird, and a lot of the situations for their abilities are contrived. there was so many kryptonites, like a gold one that would permanently remove his abilities.
Yes, you were saying
That was made into his wedding ring, and he almost wore it. And then, he became a superhero at a point where he was wearing all black. His cousin was so hot, and like,
and she was his cousin. Because I know Lana, you were saying, is pretty good.
She's banging. But anyway, she could also fly, and she was pure of heart. And Superman wasn't pure of heart; he was corrupted at a point almost. But then, as soon as he could fly, he was just pure of heart. Like flight makes
that and like apparently his flight.
It makes his powers tenfold because like he couldn't do anything. He could do stuff. He couldn't do a lot of stuff. Also, his heat vision used to be invisible in that show, and then it slowly turned not invisible, and it turned off when he got horny because he was in a class in sex ed, and he lasered vision through like the sex ed video or something like that. It was really weird.
Wow.
But it was really weird, and you had to imagine Lana naked whenever you wanted to use these. It was really weird. Anyway, or just maybe her. He probably didn't envision her naked. He was one of those nice boys. But anyway,
his eyes got hard.
His eyes got super hard.
Shot out some.
He also laser visions his own eyes out, and that's how he learned about his super hearing. Because he was blind for that whole episode, and then he was like he had to hear his way around.
But for a whole episode, what about the next episode? Is he just
no? He healed. He was fine because he's Superman. But that show was just long, 10 years, and he didn't fly, and he didn't wear the Superman outfit till the end of it, and it was just weird, and it was all just.
I'm not planning on watching that show. I don't have
ever 10 years. Anyway, so let's move on from that. Arrow, never watched it in my life. I did watch the one episode that Barry Allen appeared in.
Oh, was he in the episode?
He was in the show before the Flash started, so he was just kind of, so you would see Barry Allen and you're like, oh damn, it's the Flash, and he just kind of helped him with stuff like, I guess, science stuff, nerdy, forensic, whatever, and he would just kind of give him advice about being a superhero, like wear a mask and whatever, so no one knows who you are.
Yeah,
and then
so
when
the
Flash,
Marvel treatment for it with Netflix.
Yeah, basically, and then when the Flash came out, Arrow was in that a lot, and they were just kind of talking, be friends, whatever. And some people call it the Arrowverse. I like to call it the Flarrowverse because it's way better. Flarrowverse. I've never watched. I watched a few episodes. Apparently, it got great until it fell off a cliff when the character of Arrow fell off a cliff. Like literally fell off a cliff, and they just gave a lot of Batman storylines to Arrow apparently because he doesn't have a lot of interesting ones. He does have some interesting ones with the Riddler. But he doesn't have any interesting ones on his own because his.
Wait, did the Riddler's in Arrow? But he's
not in Arrow. No, in the comics. Yeah, in the comics, he decided to, because he kept losing to Batman, so he decided to be a Green Arrow villain, and he almost killed the shit out of him. And Black Canary, him and Black Canary almost died a lot. He was a great Arrow villain. But,
okay, hold on. The cat's sniffing my mic.
Don't worry about it.
We're along now, cat. No, okay. He's purring so loudly. He might be like muffling up sound.
Don't worry.
So I've moved him along.
Post. So yeah, Arrow was whatever. Gotham is a good show so far.
I like Gotham. That is a show I watch.
I like the Joker a lot.
So do I. The Riddler is my favourite character.
I mean, most of the villains are pretty good. At a point, it's probably going to be like Smallville, where they're going to have to contrive a reason for anything to become anything.
Yeah.
like how whatever. Like how does this guy? Why does this guy have a vendetta against Batman? Oh, well, kind of hates Bruce Wayne, and it's weird. And it's just kind of, and Bruce Wayne beats the shit out of him. It's really good, and they do take some good inspiration from. Yeah, they do take some really good inspiration from the Killing Joke with the hallway thing and his face, and let's not talk about it too much, but it's a great show. They do very great characterization for Penguin, the Riddler. The Penguin needs to be a little bit more threatening and fat.
Yes, he didn't do much so far in the current season. He's just like, hey, I'm gay.
And what's his face? Commissioner Gordon doesn't have a mustache yet. That's upsetting me. He would not look good with a mustache.
He wouldn't. He definitely would not. I really like what's his name. His partner.
Oh, goddamn, what's his name? Harvey Bullock.
Yeah.
He could be a movie. Harvey Bullock. Like he's movie quality. That guy.
And I really like the Selena, Kyle, Bruce Wayne type thing that goes on in there. I really like them.
It's fine. Yeah, it's cool. We'll see what happens with it in the future. It's pretty good. The Flash. The show is good in the first season. The second season is actually really good. The third season so far is shit. And all I'll say is every single season there's a guy who's faster than him. So in the first one it's just the Reverse Flash. Second one it's Zoom, who's just way faster than him and like blue lightning and everything.
Don't zoom in.
And the way they make it interesting is because they're people he knows. He finds out that they are people he knows. And Zoom is supposed to be very terrifying, like almost a monster who you don't know if he's wearing a suit or not, if he's actually like part of the suit.
don't spoil if he is or not, because I haven't watched this show and I kind of... Is it good? Should I watch it?
You could watch. I mean, you could if you wanted to. It is good. It is interesting, and it's because you know the way the Arrow got really just like it's really intense and over the top, like trying to be an action thing. With the Flash, they embrace the goofiness of it. You know, bright colors and a lot of nerd science, but it's more of a cartoony type show, and it's pretty good. But then they have like a lot of depressing stuff, and he's trying to make out with his sister. It's really weird. We'll move on.
Wait, what? Who's trying to make out with who? What?
Cause they do a lot of weird stuff where they make Iris Allen his adoptive sister, and then he kind of likes her and she likes him, and they're not really related, so it's fine. But
okay,
and they also it's really weird, and they also get get in relationships that are clearly better for them, and they should just date those people. But yeah, it's really weird. It's a weird show.
Yeah.
iZombie. Amazing.
I have yet to see any of the new episodes from this season, and
amazing. Now the new season's odd. I've only watched one episode. It's pretty good. iZombie's amazing. I love that show so much. The actors in it are great. I love all of them. Yes. They're all amazing. Even just random extras are great. Like they're so good. They're brilliant. Yes. I love everyone.
It's such a good show.
I love that show. It's just so well written, and everything about it is great.
Now instead of saying how it's great and how you love it, do you want to actually explain what it is in case people don't know?
I did do a review of it, kind of. So it's about Liv Moore. She's a doctor. Then she goes to a boat party, gets scratched, becomes a zombie. Then she goes to work in a morgue to get brains. She meets Blaine. Blaine's an asshole. He murders teenagers to give.
He's a piece of shit.
He murders teenagers to pay to give to his clients that pay him to get brains that he scratches.
Him a lot of money.
Yeah, it's $25K a month. Well, he only scratches rich people, but also it's a really good show. It just has a lot of great characters. Everything about it is great. Just the drama is great. Oh, I could go on all day, but we have to move on.
It was great. Yeah, we have to move on.
Watch that show. Supergirl. I watched 1 or 2 episodes, especially the one where the Flash came over to her universe. It is a good show so far. It's fine. It's basically what Smallville should have been. Like it's, you know.
Now, did they use Supergirl? Is Supergirl someone from the comics, or is this a replacement of Superboy?
No, Supergirl is someone from the comics, yes.
Okay.
She's quite a very prominent character, and I'm surprised you don't know it.
I think I but I don't know much. What does she have to do with Superman?
She's his cousin.
And how... So she is from Krypton?
Yeah.
So how did she survive?
She was sent in a spaceship to follow him and to protect him as he's growing up and basically train him, but her pod got frozen, and so she was frozen in her pod for like 5 years. So then Superman grew, or whatever, how many years it was, could have been 10, 15. So he grew up, and by the time he was actually Superman properly, she came in and she was like,
so he was teaching her then.
Yeah, so he was teaching her by that point how to use her powers and all that. And
cool.
yeah, and in Smallville, she's already has all of her abilities, and she, you know, he comes in when he's kind of more of a teenager-ish, but it's whatever. And yeah, she's a fine character. The show is a lot of just kind of like taking super man villains and making them either girls or just bringing them more onto her level, because she is not at Superman's level. Like even some guy, I think villain in the first episode, says to fight him would have been an honor, to fight you is just practice or something like that, because he is great.
Wow.
Well, because he's had 30 years of sunlight also, which makes him super cool, Superman. But yeah,
he's super tan.
Yes. Legends of Tomorrow, you probably don't know what that is. It's
hey, you know what, you're right.
So Captain Cold, Heatwave, who are Flash villains, also team up with Iron Man. Basically, he's just kind of an Iron Man character.
Okay.
You know the guy who played Superman in the movie, Superman Returns. Superman Returns.
Oh, okay. No.
Brandon Routh. That guy's in it. He plays the kind of Iron Man-ish character he's kind of boyishly charming, but he's also rich and has an Iron Man suit that shrinks.
Can't wait for them to be sued and then it'd be called Mr. DC.
Yeah, Mr. DC.
In Marvel.
No, he's the Atom, and he's kind of a captain. In the comics he's he's kind of an Ant-Man type hero, but and whatever. Anyway, and then the guy from the future, and just a weird person from Arrow. They all team up, and they're all villains, kind of, or just useless people that aren't important to the timeline.
There's some kind of Suicide Squad, is what you're saying.
They are some kind of Suicide Squad, and they go in and they just kind of go through the time periods and try and stop this immortal called Vandal Savage. He is a very interesting character, and he is really good in that show.
He is a...
He's great.
He's in Teen Titans as a side character who's in like 2 episodes.
He's the main villain in Young Justice as well, and in a lot of shows. He's very good because he's immortal. He's arguably smarter than Lex Luthor, who is the smartest man in the universe. But then again, he's not a very scientific mind. He's just been around
Lex
for a long time.
Lex Luthor is the smartest man. When was this decided?
Because DC Comics, because he's smart. Well, he's like 10 times smarter than Batman, and that's basically the smartest you can be. You know.
Well,
but anyway, regardless, that show's whatever. I watched a good bit of it. It's fine. They changed a lot of their abilities. They have Hawk Girl in it, and it's weird, and it's dumb.
And this is Legends of Tomorrow, yeah?
Yeah, it's all about time travel and spaceships, and you've got kind of a Britishy Doctor Who kind of guy, and it's fine, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Preacher, have no idea what that is. Apparently the TV show's fine. The comic is good.
Yeah, we've seen that in Forbidden Planet a few times when we've gone.
Yeah,
every time when we've gone.
I have no idea what it is, but Forbidden Planet's a comic store over here. Anyway, but Preacher's fine, whatever. I don't know anything about it. Batman the Animated Series. Now, have you watched any of it ever?
Probably when I was much younger.
You are missing out. You need to watch more of it. It's so good. I love everything about it. The voice actors are great. The moments between the characters are great. It spawned basically every single origin for every character.
It did have Harley Quinn in it. That's where she first showed up.
Yeah, and then also gave Mr. Freeze his origin story and why he's such an interesting character, which they fucking ruined. And it's
no, wait.
It's great. I love that show.
See, the thing is, when it comes to things like that, I don't like the old way of voice acting. I think it just sounds really bad. And animation, I'm not a big fan of.
Well, their art style of animation isn't like that weird broad-shouldered and tiny waist people. I don't know what that's about, but I do know what that's about. I do like those shows, but it doesn't have that animation style. The old Batman animated series. It is just everything about it. All the it won Emmys and stuff, and it deserved it. It was great. It was a fantastic show, and I loved everything about it.
Yes, from what I've heard, it's considered like the best animated DC show.
Some say the best animated show ever. It is fantastic.
I'm sure you're one of those people that says that.
One of the best, I would say, top 3. But Batman Beyond is something that's spawned from that.
Don't do that, you fucking... Okay, go on.
Batman Beyond is something that spawned from that, and it's basically Batman in the future. He's too old to kind of carry on being Batman, and he has to pull out a gun to defend himself, and he decides to quit. Then this guy, Terry McGinnis, takes up the suit that he made. Like, you know, he can kind of fly in it and stuff like that, and he becomes Batman, and there's some great moments where he fights the Joker, and the Joker knows he isn't the original Batman. But
isn't the Joker old then as well?
Yeah, he dies in the animated series, and he comes back in this through microchips. It sounds dumb, but it is an amazing scene. It is great. Well, the movie, you could even just watch the movie, the Batman Beyond movie, Return of the Joker. It is fantastic, and I love it. Yeah, he even fights the Joker in a different way, where he laughs at him, and the Joker just gets really upset about it and starts like, "Don't you laugh at me?" And then he has a meltdown, and then he just shoots him, and he just keeps trying to shoot him, and then he knocks him out, and he wins, and it's really good. No. It's quite good.
Yeah, I might watch that later, but then I might not.
And the Justice League TV show, it's the animation style you hate. It is quite interesting the way they develop all the characters individually and then together.
I haven't seen the show. I have seen videos on it because I was watching like a top 10 a couple of days ago. Yes, it was just Superman. He's like, if you put Batman beside another Batman, that's like a Superman. Except you just take Batman's legs. That's the size difference.
Yes, it is.
He's a truck who skipped leg day.
Yeah. It is a good show, and there's also a nice romance between Batman and Wonder Woman, which is really nice. It's cool. Well, it's a good show, and it also has just an amazing singing scene in it. It's just great, because Batman has to. This magic person, she has to, or she decided to make Wonder Woman a pig. And so they're trying to like save her in the city, and she's in slaughterhouses and stuff, like about to be murdered, and they save her. And then he's like, "Okay, we can't beat her because she's magic. Is there anything you want?" And she says, "I'm going to take your one thing that you've tried to work on for years to make your life precious." And you think it's his identity and it's going to ruin him, but no, it's his dignity. And she makes him sing a song, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful
he has a
symphony.
great singing voice.
Like everyone cries. I cried myself. It's great.
I'm sure you did. We're talking about these DC shows. Will we be getting to Young Justice by the end of this? Because that is the best.
Maybe I forgot to write that down completely. However, we're moving on to Marvel now.
Wow.
We can talk about
Wow.
Young Justice at the end. So, the old
We
Spider-Man,
better talk about
the old Spider-Man cartoons. You remember then the Amazing Spider-Man cartoon
Yeah.
thing? That was weird, right?
I know of the current Amazing Spider-Man things. The old ones, I'm not sure if I watched. I do remember the X-Men, and that's only because I heard the theme song recently. I was like, oh, I remember that. Oh my god.
Yeah, everyone.
Now I've
remembers that
forgotten
theme.
what it
It's
was
great.
again, so I have to go search it up. I was going to do that yesterday, but then I forgot.
Yeah, but the Amazing Spider-Man TV show, it kind of started up the cartoons of for the for the whole universe kind of thing. So did the Hulk TV show, which is another thing. They're both fine. The Spider-Man TV show did quite a good thing. It really captured that he's more of a kind of a man, older-ish man in this, but he still has troubles with like college or whatever, and he's a very good scientist, and you kind of find it, and the way they do the symbiote in it is great, and then Venom comes in, Carnage. It is quite a good show, and they bring in all the weird lore of like Spider-Man like having alternate dimensions, and they just work it out really well, and I like it.
Oh, cool, like Spider-Man 99 and stuff like that.
and Spider-Ham, Peter Porker,
Spider-Ham, Peter Porker,
yeah.
I think the cat is trapped under my dresser.
The
Stuck
Hulk
there
one
now
was
until
cool.
the end of this. Oh, he's not. There he is.
How dare you? The Hulk also had a similar one, a TV show where they
I
brought a
didn't
lot
know
of
the
like,
Hulk had a TV show before
Yeah,
Agents of Smash.
he had a weird like they brought a lot of the weird comic stuff into it. So like the leader with the giant forehead, and like the Grey Hulk, who was it was weird, but interesting in his own way.
Do you know why?
And the battle in
he's
his
the Grey
mind
Hulk?
to become, huh?
Do you know why they have a Grey Hulk?
Because of printing.
Yes.
Because he was grey, and then they couldn't do a consistent grey because it turned out blue a lot, and then they were like, let's make him green.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they were like, let's bring him back because he'd be a fun character, or maybe they were running out of green ink. Who knows?
Also, Leader. Do you know currently, like in the Agent Smash and all that, Leader's in it? He's voiced by Ewan McGregor.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is now the leader.
Wait, you? Oh yeah. There you go. I was thinking of someone else. Yeah, I was thinking of Gandalf for a second, but anyway.
Yeah, they're definitely different. They're definitely different people.
Yes, Ewan McGregor. He was fine in those movies. In those weird Star Wars movies.
Now, he did say that one line really well, where what's his name killed younglings.
Killing younglings.
Killing younglings.
The X-Men cartoons. Did you ever watch any of those?
I did. Now, I would have been much younger, but I remember some of the designs for the characters. They were those old designs, so they looked so bad. If you looked at them, they're like, oh my god, why?
I did like the outfits for like, because I think X-Men Evolution was the one that brought in weird like brown and orange Wolverine, and I like that outfit the most. But
I don't know
that theme song was so great, and it brought in like the Dark Phoenix saga really well, like just stuff, because all the Marvel cartoons brought in these weird storylines about like that didn't really work anywhere other than comics. Because with the DC ones, they either grounded it or they did what the Superman did, and they made it very spectacular. But these, they brought in these storylines and they just made them work, which was like a really cool that they were able to do that. These weird stuff where it's just like and maybe the Phoenix Force is like extraterrestrial or something, and it's really odd and dumb.
Yeah, I didn't watch the show enough to know like the difference between all these things. Now I do know what the Phoenix Saga is.
Yeah,
but like I would have I was a casual watcher. I'm sure when I was a youngling.
I was casual too at the time, but now I know stuff about it, so I can make connections. But it's weird. That show is very. I mean, it wasn't weird. It was good. I liked it a lot.
It would have the old type of voice acting that I wouldn't be a big fan of.
They also had a weird. They really tried to make some X-Men like important characters that were just dumb. Like I think like Kitty Pryde isn't that dumb, but they really tried to make her like a main player.
Yeah, and
like to fight Magneto and shit, and like how are you fighting Magneto, man?
Jubilee, wasn't she in the show as well?
They really they tried to make Jubilee a real character too. Oh, that was dumb. Yeah, Jubilee is so weird. But it was a very interesting cartoon, and it was just so bright and colourful, and everything about it was good. Well, everything about it. The animation was good. The animation was good, and the writing was quite good. Now, have you ever watched that Avengers TV show?
The new one actually I have seen a bit of.
Yeah, that one is fine.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Because I think Marvel has a lot of trouble with basically anything other than their movies. Personally, like their TV shows.
Their
can be
Netflix
good.
series are pretty good. Like I don't
Yeah.
I don't care what people say. Iron Fist wasn't that bad. It wasn't amazing, but like
Well.
it was okay. It was better than Luke Cage.
That was amazing. It was okay, but I think their cartoon TV shows and their games and stuff, they're not really good. You know, like the cartoon TV
The
shows
Amazing
can be
Spider-Man,
fine.
the current one, the current Amazing Spider-Man, I think that's pretty good.
Isn't it? It's Ultimate Spider-Man, I think.
Yeah, whatever it's called, I don't care. Oscar watches it.
Well, I will bring it up, but yeah, the Avengers. It's fine because a lot of it's trying to tie into the movie universe, and that's okay, fine, whatever. But it's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I'm also dying, but anyway.
Yeah.
Spectacular Spider-Man. You ever watched that show?
I'm not sure. Probably not.
It is. I would recommend this. It's probably on the level of like. I don't know. I love that. It's maybe on the level of like a Young Justice kind of thing. Maybe a little bit less, but it is fantastic. I really like that show. It was the. I think it was the best one at making Spider-Man just a guy who's just a teenager actually, who's just trying to be Spider-Man at the same time because he's only. It starts off and he's only a year into being Spider-Man. So he's not really that. He's not terrific, but he's also like he's into it. And you don't obviously start off.
Yeah, it's not his origin story.
Yeah, it's not his origin story. But you also don't. He doesn't start off with him like being like the most professional. You know, and it really just has great stuff with him not being able to afford rent, like having to help pay for his Aunt May's rent, and then not being able to pay for.
You just said his aunt.
His aunt, and then not
you mean
also
his
being
aunt.
not being able to pay for his web fluid in battle sometimes, where he's running out of web fluid and he's kind of like worse in battle.
When was this one made?
Huh?
This Spider-Man. When was that Spider-Man show made?
Like 2010, around that 2008 actually, I think.
So around the same time Young Justice came out.
Yeah, 2008. It might have ended in 2010. It had really great stuff, and I loved the way they did the symbiote and that, because you see the costume slowly change, and that matches the way he slowly changes and becomes more with the costume and just an asshole. And like Black Cat is really good in it too, and she isn't altered in any way like way she usually is. She's just kind of just a regular person who's well trained, and you see that she really likes him. And then Gwen is his love interest in that, and you see Mary Jane just kind of be someone he does really like, but then she's trying to influence him to be with other people. And then
who's trying to influence Spider-Man?
Mary Jane's like, hey, you should date people that aren't me. I think is.
But is he not going in with Gwen?
Kind of, they're friends, and Gwen does want to go out with him, and he does kind of like Gwen, but not too much.
I like
Gwen. He also dates a cheerleader because she really begins to like him, even though he's a nerd. But he's like obviously he's you know because he was giving her the cold shoulder. He played bad boy or whatever, and then she liked him anyway. And
she's like, oh damn! Now that you don't like me, I like you.
That series ends so sad.
Does it?
Yeah, I don't give it too much about it, but it's so sad.
Tell me after the podcast.
I will.
I want to know.
Maybe.
Good.
But the Green Goblin in it is obviously great. All the villains have great motivations, unlike sometimes in the comics where they're just like, hey,
I'm a bad guy.
We hate you. Or and obviously not all the villains know him. I think it's pretty much just the Green Goblin that happens to know him, and that makes it a thing. Because in the comics, that's a huge thing where the Goblin knows who he is and is friends with his son's, thing. And then it's also really questioned whether or not the son is the Green Goblin or if it's the dad. And it's a very interesting reveal when it happens. But
say that again. Sorry, I wasn't listening.
How dare you? The Green Goblin. You know the way that like it's questioned whether or not it's Harry or his dad who's the Green Goblin, right?
Oh yeah.
And like in the show, and it's a very interesting reveal, and it's perfect. It's a really good show, and they bring a lot of weird villains like the Chameleon into it, who just wears other people's faces.
Yes, I know of the Chameleon.
Really dumb, but a really dumb character. But they make him work well, and they make him threatening. Kind of like how in Young Justice they make Sportsmaster, a guy whose whole thing is just using sports-related weapons.
I like the Sportsmaster in that.
They make, but in the comics, his whole thing, he just like kick a football into someone's face. But in this, he's actually useful. Same in Spider-Man.
Just talking about that real quick. In season 2 with the Sportsmaster, I'm sure you know the scene I'm talking about. He's very much a dick.
He's just a dick.
It's like he's doing this one thing because it's like, well, my reputation.
My rep, yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but what about that? And it's like, yeah, but no, my reputation is what matters.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Because in the comics he's a dumb character. Really, he's just a dumb character. But in that show, they make him work, and that's really cool.
Yeah, I did like him. He's still a dick.
Okay, next, Ultimate Spider-Man. That is not as good as Spectacular Spider-Man, but it does bring in a lot of like this Shield organization, Nick Fury, a lot of those like Iron Fist.
How he has his own team and stuff like that. Yeah,
and how
that's a lot like Young Justice.
And they also bring in a bunch of other like they eventually bring in more Spider-Men, like the black guy Miles Morales, future Spider-Man.
Oh, I didn't know they added that in.
Toby something, maybe it's Toby Maguire, or maybe I think it's Ohel Magara. I don't even know.
Who?
The future Spider-Man. I think his name is Miguel O'Hara. Anyway,
okay.
Regardless, and then they bring in the Scarlet Spider, who's pretty interesting in that also.
Scarlet Johansson.
He's basically a clone. It's a fine show. Oh God, Jesus fucking Christ!
Wow.
A pigeon just rammed into my window. Scared the shit out of me. Holy fuck! Came right at me.
Oh okay. Jesus! That's funny.
Okay. Jesus.
He was out to get you. That
I know.
pigeon.
It just was coming for me. Anyway, so Drake Bell from Drake and Josh does the voice of Spider-Man, and he's fine.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the guy who does the voice for J. Jonah Jameson in Spectacular Spider-Man. I think it can't. God damn, I'm gonna die. It might be the same guy for the Ultimate Spider-Man, but he's good. He's terrific. Anyway, he's great. I love him.
Yeah.
Okay. Agents of Shield. Have you ever watched that?
Okay. Is that the live action?
Yeah, it's the one with
Yeah, with Coulson. Yeah, no.
Phil. Good old Phil.
I have not actually seen it.
Apparently that show starts off good, then turns bad, and then turns good again. Yeah. I don't know much about it. I haven't really watched it. It's kind of a meh show.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either.
Okay.
It's good that you brought that up.
I know.
Say how we haven't watched
I'm just bringing him up to talk about him. It's weird that they have Coulson alive, but he's never going to come back into any of the series. And
he's alive, but it's weird when because I've seen like the first scene, and they're putting his head back together. He's like, "What's happening to me?" And Nick Fury's like, "Yeah, you're going to be fine." And like it's like, "I want to die." I think he might actually say that. I can't remember, but it's so messed up. Yeah.
Okay. The Netflix ones. You can introduce these because my voice is getting really hoarse from talking so much. Do the Netflix ones. Okay. You do them in whatever order you want.
Okay, we'll start with like Jessica Jones, I guess.
Okay, sure.
Jessica Jones is pretty good. It's got David Tennant as the main bad guy, the purple guy, and he is so good. He is so good as the purple guy.
Purple Man, it's the best Netflix show. Probably.
It is definitely.
Yeah, because I think a common theme with them is to have just kind of so you have the hero doing whatever they do, and then you have a very rich or very powerful, guy who just his whole thing is he's rich and powerful, and he hates the main guy because of whatever reasons. With the Kingpin and Daredevil, it's because he's trying to take over his organ, or he's trying to get rid of crime or whatever, and obviously he doesn't like that because he's the Kingpin. And with David Tennant,
Vincent D'Onofrio was great as Kingpin as well. He is the Kingpin.
He was also great in Jurassic World when he gets his army knocked out or whatever happens there.
Yes, and he's like, "Oh, I'm a bad guy." Ah.
Yeah, because all their motivations are different for why they hate the person, but they just hate the main character, and they're very powerful people. I think, though, I would be way more threatened by David Tennant. I'm going to call him David Tennant.
The thing about David Tennant's character is he doesn't hate the main character. He loves her.
And he wants to
be a creepy amount, and he's like, I want you to be with me, and if you say no, I'm going to murder all your friends, so just be with me, yeah? And she's like, no, and he's like, well, okay then.
Okay, to explain it briefly, I guess we'll go through the shows, but the way they came out probably is the best way.
Was it that came out first?
No, it was
Daredevil. Yeah, I was trying to remember.
So Daredevil is about this nice little blind lawyer, and he's blind.
He's pretty nice.
And he decides, hey,
he's ripped.
I'm pretty ripped and blind, and why don't I go fight crime in Hell's Kitchen? So he does. and he's kind of not very prepared for it. I mean, he's a good fighter, and he has his senses are kind of very heightened because of the fact that he's blind. Everyone knows what Daredevil is, but you know, the whole he fights people.
That one guy in the audience, he doesn't. David. That's
that one guy, David.
David. Hi, Dave. You don't know what we're talking about. That's why we're explaining it. But David, you're my friend, okay?
The David we know is kind of he's a pothead, but
yeah. Well, I'm sure there's someone out there like someone named Michael. I'm sure he's an idiot, and
he's also an idiot. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure that fan named Michael. You seem like you're something.
I hate you. The worst. So listen.
Wow. Poor Michael.
Yeah, so with Daredevil, so the whole point of it is, he's a blind guy. He's trying to fight crime and whatever, and then you have the Kingpin, who's the kingpin of crime. Yeah. And he's trying to just keep his organization going. He's doing what he's doing. He's a asshole. He kills his. Doesn't he? Well, we don't want to spoil it too much, but I'm spoiling it anyway. Didn't he kill
someone's head in
a parent
with a car door?
Yeah, he beats a guy's head in with the car door. Doesn't he kill a parent at some point? That's not mentioned which parent it is, but he kills a parent.
He kills a parent with a hammer.
Yes, as a child, and he's just a very with most of these other characters, they don't really have any strengths. But this guy, he's so physically he's a giant. He's 9 foot, in the show, and he's
no, in the show he's regular height. In the comics, he's like 9 foot.
6'7".
Yes,
7 foot.
Well, 6 foot, let's say.
Yeah,
and he is he's very muscular. He beats someone to death with a car door by slamming the guy's head in it until his head is gone.
And that is a real thing with the Kingpin. He is a giant man. Like in the comics, he's 9 foot tall.
Yes, he's huge.
He is
his
gigantic.
Suits would be so expensive.
Well, they are still in that show still expensive, and the suits he gets are kind of reinforced and whatever. But so he does do one-on-one fights with Daredevil, and that is interesting. And
most times he wins as well.
Daredevil's always not as well matched for him until he's quite he's fresh and he's got his suit on.
He's super fresh,
and he's ready to.
Yeah, once he dons the Daredevil suit, the horned suit.
Yeah, but without it, I would reckon even if they were both just wearing normal clothes, they weren't reinforced, Kingpin would still beat the shit out of him. Because if he doesn't have those sticks, he's not really.
Yeah, his batons.
Yeah, or Eskrima sticks, or whatever they're called. He's not very. Yeah.
Okay, but let's continue on because we've been on this for a while.
The thing is with Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones, I've known nothing about her in the comics. In this, she's just a person with super strength, not too super strength, but super strength to the point where she could probably kick through a wall or kick a wall down. I
do know a bit about Jessica Jones from the comics. What? And I know the whole Purple Man's... in the comics, the Purple Man is so much more messed up. Yeah. I'll explain one thing that happens, and if children are listening, why are you listening? So, basically what happens is... He's taken Jessica Jones in. She's brainwashed by him, and his skin is actually purple in it. And he basically he tortures her mentally by So what he does, he would go and get teenage girls to come in and pleasure him in front of her, and he would also make her want him while this is happening, but she wouldn't be allowed to. He really messed with her in the comics. It's much more violent in the comics.
Yeah, in this it's very much he she has strength, he has mind control. That's the whole thing.
But it's not so much a superhero show because it deals a lot with her depression and stuff over what happened, and she's a drunk now.
I mean, none of them are really superhero shows. None of them have superpowers, let's say, except for Luke Cage and
Iron Fist.
Well, Iron Fist is a mystic man who's magic and stuff.
That's still a super. If you can turn your fist into metal, it is a superpower.
Really, well, we'll talk about it, but so just this could be said not in the Marvel canon. It probably would be better if it wasn't, but it is quite a good show in the sense that it also brings in Luke Cage, and the whole thing is the dynamic with her and him, and it's kind of turns out that she isn't really as susceptible to his mind control as people may think, at all. And
so that's because she broke free after doing a bold thing.
Also in the comics, she has the ability to be resistant to it. So it's like
the cat just jumped onto my lap, scared the shit out of me.
She has psionic, whatever it's called, psionic immobility, whatever it's fucking called. She's immune to being, to mental attacks or anything like that. Yeah. And that's whatever.
She doesn't let anyone tell her what to do.
In this, she's just an alcoholic. Her life is in the shit.
Okay, yeah,
whatever, and she's just dealing with life. Anyway, so yeah, your cat's a dick. Sorry about that. There was an issue with his cat being an asshole who decided to end the recording.
Yeah, he's just lying on my lap. He's purring. He's so happy with himself.
Okay, he's such a bitch. Okay, so back to
with Jessica Jones.
So that it turns out the whole show is just these two, duking it out. Her trying to get past him and not hurt the people that he's mind controlling, and just stop him from doing what he does. And it's a great show, and I really wish it had ended at season 1 because it would have just been a perfect self-contained story. But it's continuing because Marvel. Yeah.
I think they're going to do it well. Watch Kilgrave's going to... Never mind.
Don't worry about it. Okay, Luke Cage.
Go away, Kat. You're not going on my thing again, you little bitch.
Luke Cage.
Well, we're skipping over something here, I feel.
Luke Cage.
No, we're definitely not. What? Yeah, go on. Yeah. Luke Cage. The first half of the season was good with Cottonmouth, but then they're like, hey, we're gonna kill Cottonmouth.
Yeah, so we're spoiling this a little bit because it's not as good. It's not nearly as good as Jessica Jones
or Daredevil.
And Daredevil, we should mention Daredevil has the Punisher in it. It's great. It's better than Batman.
Yeah, Daredevil season 2.
That one episode where they're on the rooftop is better than Batman vs Superman. And now that shouldn't be true, but it's a true statement. And so Luke Cage, he comes from Jessica Jones series, and it's just he's a good character. He's black,
Yeah.
He's bald.
Show wasn't the best.
It was quite good because Cottonmouth, his kind of thing was that he was just a rich guy and he wasn't he wasn't physically strong. He didn't have any mental, like mind control.
No,
like
you fuck off, Cat.
Opposed to all the other ones, he was just a guy, and that was interesting. That you would have this guy who's very powerful because of his money, and this guy who's very powerful because of his strength and whatever. And it's a very interesting thing. And then they killed him off and just replaced him with a guy and.
With a woman,
and then
they replace him with the woman. Then the woman, I think, is she replaced then by the guy?
Yeah,
then there's another guy with glasses.
Shades is quite interesting as a character. Yeah. He's pretty cool. However, the show is fine. I would say it's in my order, in my list. It would be Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Luke Cage.
Yeah. No. Since I've seen the Iron Fist, I think Iron Fist comes forward before it. Had a better villain.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't love Iron Fist, to be honest.
Did you? You didn't watch all of it though, did you?
I did, but I don't like it. I don't like that much. Now, opposed to the other ones, we probably shouldn't spoil this one because it's the newest. But opposed to the other ones, because the other ones have very strong first acts. And I would say Jessica Jones stays strong throughout the entire thing, but for example with Luke Cage it starts out very strong in the first act, and in the first half it's amazing, and then the second half it just kind of teeter-totters off and just kind of falls into its
Iron Fist is the opposite. It bad
starts off shit and then it turns out fine. It's whatever. It's
Oh, you fucking piece of shit.
He's got an Iron Fist.
Oh, he's biting my cable now. Fuck off, Cat. There we go. That's better.
The Adventures of Cat.
No, he's still going. Okay, there we go.
Pick him up and just choke him. But
I should.
He's got an Iron Fist. I don't think...
You little fuckface, stop that. You're going to plug my... God damn it, you whore!
What would have been very interesting for Iron Fist...
I threw him onto my bed.
What would have been very interesting in Iron Fist if it was even remotely close to the comic in any way.
Yeah.
Like, because in the comic the way he gets the fist is...
See, I didn't read the comic, so...
He dips his hand into a dragon's molten heart, and it takes out, and it's an Iron Fist. In this, it's alluded to that he does it, but it's never shown.
Yeah.
And that's
well,
upsetting.
they might show that in the Defenders or the second season, because we do know there is a dragon that he fought. Well, we know there was something he fought.
I don't know it's
and that
TV
when he came out,
budget.
he had burn marks.
I do know it's TV budget, but couldn't you take one of the millions or 2 millions or just like you made a billion off Avengers? Couldn't you take 5 million and just put it into the dragon? Come on, like it's. Anyway, whatever. It's great. It's a great scene in the comics. I wish they'd replicated it. To be honest, though, in the Defenders, it feels like pretty much everyone could beat him up. Because he doesn't do anything particularly, like his kung fu isn't like the best kung fu.
Although you don't know, this could be set a little bit more into the future. Also, they will have more of time for the choreography. So it could be shown that he is better.
It just wasn't like very, because like it seems as though he's basically Daredevil. He's Daredevil without the senses, but with fists that's kind of iron. Only sometimes though.
Yeah.
Only when he hasn't run out of chi.
When he does, like, he can be shot in his hand, and it just happens that whenever he does that, that's the only place people shoot. They're like, we're gonna hit that one hand, and he's
well,
like,
it is
hey,
glowing. It's kind of like Batman's shield is like a big black target on his chest, and it's the most reinforced part of his thing.
Yes, but the fact that, like, these people are so good at shooting, they're shooting his bulletproof fist instead of being like, we'll just shoot him in the head and move on with our lives.
Yeah, or, like it's
Cat
yeah.
don't fucking do
Well,
it.
it's also kind of like how in Captain America they always shoot at the shield instead of his legs, like the legs poking out. Or like with Bucky, they shoot his arm a lot. I don't know.
Yeah. They're like, we're gonna
that?
shoot his metal arm. That's a good idea.
That's a good idea. But because it's
Hurt
okay,
so
because Luke Cage could definitely beat him up. Now I do obviously think that Iron Fist probably would hurt him, would hurt Luke Cage, but he would definitely still beat him up in a fight.
Yeah.
Luke Cage isn't particularly good in fights, but
okay, we do have to wrap this up soon. Don't forget.
He's invincible and all that. So yeah, whatever, blah blah blah, and Jessica Jones would kick the shit out of him. Now, the one show that I have left you have not seen, Legion.
Oh yeah, my parents say that's actually pretty good.
Now, it's a kind of an X-Men. It's an X-Men show made by Marvel Studios, I think.
Yeah.
And now in the comics, Legion is his ability is that he has every superpower, but it's tied into different parts of his multiple personality disorder. So when he's when he's a certain character, it's kind of like DID sometimes, where if he's a certain person in his mind, then he has a certain power, kind of. Yeah. And in the show, it's similar to that. He's in a mental institution because he has telepathy and he hears voices that aren't there, and then he's also got telekinesis. And I don't want to say too much, but it's a brilliant show. Just imagine all the X-Men movies, but way better. Imagine Jessica. It's kind of like a Jessica Jones Marvel or Jessica Jones X-Men thing. It's terrific, and I would say it's better than Jessica Jones. It's so good. It's amazing.
Cat? Oh, you piece of shit! He did it.
What did he do?
He's knocking around stuff on my dresser now.
Okay.
There's glasses there that he might just decide, you know what, they need to be on the ground. And broken.
And the show is such a mind fuck and everything is just creepy and I don't know what's going on half the time.
See about watching that. Now, once we finish talking about Legion, because I don't know much, I know it's new, so we don't want to spoil anything.
It is great.
But I do want to talk about Young Justice. That is a show I have seen.
Okay, talk about it quickly.
It's a good show. It's a pretty good show.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main team is Robin with Dick Grayson, Robin,
Superboy,
Aqualad,
Artemis,
Superboy, Artemis, Kid Flash, yeah,
Miss Martian,
Red Arrow every now and again.
Yeah, Aqualad.
I've said yeah, but something I noticed, and I've only noticed it now the second time going through it is, you'll notice this if you watch again. That episode where Artemis joins the school, yeah, and Robin's fucking with her.
Yeah, yes.
He goes back to his friend. That's Batgirl.
Yeah, that's Batgirl. Yeah, I know.
That only dawned on me the second time.
Yeah, he says. I think he says Barbara, or I just assumed.
Yeah. Don't. You asshole. He's an asshole. He's about to knock over my lamp.
Okay.
He's just really enjoying himself.
The Adventures of Cat. But
but I think that's really all the time we have for this. Is there anything else you want to add in?
We do have some recommendations of stuff to either watch or read.
Yeah.
So you can go first.
Okay, so to watch Young Justice, I can't recommend it enough, so I'm just gonna keep recommending it. Yeah. Young Justice. Also, then to read, if anyone's into mangas, there's a good series, Attack on Titan. I'm not talking about the normal Attack on Titan series. It's Before the Fall. It's a very good series. It's so good. It's about the main character's Kuklo, and it's about him originally getting the shit beat out of him and being treated like an animal, and then he learned how to talk, and he's like, hey, I can talk now. And it shows how the 3D maneuver gear is created and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Now you go ahead and recommend.
Well, before what's the name of that manga thing again? Just so everyone knows.
Attack on Titan Before the Fall.
Yeah. Okay, for my recommendation, I would recommend. I'm going to do my comic first. So a comic, if you like comics, Kim Reaper. It's brand new. It's made by a person who did a kind of a Rick and Morty spin-off with Mr. Poopy Butthole and Summer. It was a cool.
Wait, are they in it?
No, they're not in the Kim Reaper. They are. This is written by a person who did a spin-off for Rick and Morty, the comics and stuff like that. and she's pretty good. She also made her own comic or book called Pizza Witch. I don't know what that's about, but Kim Reaper is essentially so this girl who's a lesbian. It's important. She wants to bang this girl in her class whose name is Kim, and her guy friend is like, "Go do it." And then so she's going to go ask her out for drinks and stuff like that. And then when she does, Kim takes out a huge scythe and just opens a portal to another dimension, and she's like, "Oh!" She freaks out, and has a panic attack. So she goes through with her, and then she finds out that Kim is a kind of a part-time Grim Reaper to pay for college, and she can only reap the souls of animals so far. So she's still kind of in her training.
So then the main character of the show isn't actually Kim Reaper.
Technically not, no. But it's the two of them together. They're going on adventures. I only have only the first episodes out so far. It's quite funny. Also, it's got a nice
first issue.
Yeah, first issue, whatever. But if you like being Puppy Cat or just like kind of a weird, quirky character humor, it is quite. You
really do like being Puppy Cat. You really like bringing that up.
I love it. For my TV show, I would recommend BoJack Horseman. It's on Netflix. You can also just pirate it or watch it on Kiss Cartoon. BoJack Horseman is fantastic. It's everything I like in a show, which is just character development and like an overall story that just.
I'm more of a fan.
Yeah, well,
of
the story is just kind of a conduit for them to learn life lessons and be better people, but then not be better people, and just. It's just very great, and it has a huge philosophy about it, and it's just a lovely show. It makes you so depressed, and I love because the music is great in it, because there's just these huge moments where big stuff happens, whether it's death or just depression or coming or losing a character in the show because of some kind of thing. Maybe someone like bitch slaps him, but whatever happens, some big moment happens, and then the song at the end just goes perfectly with it. I love everything about that show. Some people say it's hard to get into. I don't think so. I think it's great, but then again, I was told it was going to be great, and also I enjoyed every just kind of episode with them learning more about themselves.
I was told by someone we mutually know that one of his friends does not like it.
Yeah, it does get a little bit gimmicky.
No, you fucking don't, Kat. You're not pressing the button again.
It does get a little bit gimmicky with the jokes about animals in the second season, but it's still very good, and it's just I love that show. It's great. I would recommend that. It's just a very depressing show, and I love it. And Kim Reaper is quite a funny, quirky cartoon or a comic. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, it's probably all the time we have. Anything else you want to say?
Watch Young Justice.
Watch BoJack Horseman.
You won't be sad. You'll just be happy until you realise you've got to wait another over a year for the third season. Then you'll be sad.
You'll be happy,
and you'll understand why you'll be sad, because there's just such a big cliffhanger.
Yeah, BoJack Horseman's good though. I do like it. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Goodbye. Check out. Well, wait.
Take us out.
Where can they find us? On the social medias.
Nowhere. I don't exist. Okay. At Twitter at Karmic Moss.
Yeah, they'll be on screen. Whatever.
Yeah, and then
for me,
you
can find me at iluvwheat on Twitter. It's on screen, and also my YouTube channel iluvwheat. You may know it. Yeah, that's it. Hope you guys have a nice day or whatever you do with your life.
Yeah, lol bye.
3, 2, 1, cut.
Wait, how do I stop?